Welcome to January 2026 special series, a psychologist's guide to thrive in 2026. Here, me, a psychologist, is going to talk about four components which I think we need to take into 2026 to thrive throughout the year. If this is something that you're interested in, then don't forget to subscribe and let's jump on the ride. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Pranal, a mental health practitioner from India, and today we are going to talk about the third component in the series. If you haven't already, then please do check out the first two videos where I talk about the first two components, resilience and self-trust. Recently, I was working with a young girl child. Let's call her Chloe. Chloe's mom had booked the session. Upon beginning the session, Chloe's mom started immediately telling me how her daughter is incredibly distressed. When I started talking to Chloe, it was apparent that she was distressed. We began the conversation and I started asking her about her daily life, her school life, her studies, her hobbies, basically general questions to build rapport. She was answering all of these questions half-heartedly, distracted. But the one thing that she made sure that I knew was how she was incompetent, not good enough, how she was a burden. It was crazy. After every answer that she gave me, these three sentences were always there. She did not know how to talk to herself compassionately. She thought everything that was going on in her life was because of her, because some mistake she made. This case is quite complicated, and the way she was describing everything in that context, it is possible for her to feel like that. Of course, I'm telling you the short version of this, but unfortunately, I see this quite a lot with a lot of kids that I've worked with so far. And it's really sad to see this. Today, let's talk about self-compassion. Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness and support that you would provide someone that is close to you, someone that you care about, when they are struggling, failing, or feeling inadequate. Self compassion is not a trait that we are fully born with, but it's the capacity that we are born with, and we can develop it over a period of time. As infants and young children, we have the capacity to seek comfort and soothing and safety whenever needed. Our nervous system is wired to self soothe, to care for ourselves. These are the biological foundations of self compassion. But there are other elements as well which help us shape this trait. For example, how caregivers respond to distress, how our caregivers respond to distress. Like, is it either comfort or criticism? Early attachment experiences, cultural and social messages about success, winning, failing, and emotions. Over a period of time, we internalize these responses and start treating ourselves the same way. Even adults struggle with this. If we are brought up with harsh criticism or conditional approval, for example, if you do something that I like, only then I can show you love and respect. Or high performance pressure. Basically, you have to be the best at anything that you do. Only then you will be rewarded for it. We end up learning that self judgment is more important than self compassion. Not because something is wrong with it, but because we are now trained to be more self critical than self compassionate. Now, let me ask you this. When are the times where we want or we feel like we need to be the most self compassionate? These are the times when we absolutely cannot be self compassionate. We are more self critical or self judgmental. We surely need a lot of self compassion when we make mistakes, when we fail at something, or when we are ill, when we want to rest without guilt, or we want to set boundaries without feeling like we are being disrespectful to another person. All of these events and many more are the times where we need to be the most self compassionate with ourselves. But unfortunately, we don't. We are always self critical and self judgmental. But there is a silver lining here. Self compassion is the type of trait that we can develop at any age. Research tells us that self compassion is highly trainable. We can do it through mindful practices, or compassion focused therapy, self compassion exercises such as compassionate self talk or writing, and safe relational experiences. Now, I'm going to share a few steps or tips we can use to train this component of self compassion. First and foremost, I feel like I say this in almost every video, is focus on how you're talking to yourself. Is it harsh? Is it self loathing, self blaming? It is important that we change the tone and the narrative of this self talk. When you're talking to yourself kindly, it doesn't mean that you are lying to yourself. You are just being fair to yourself. For instance, if we have made a mistake, we immediately start telling ourselves, we are stupid. This is dumb. Why would you even do this? This is critical, harsh, and self blaming. Instead of this, we can talk to ourselves. I know I made a mistake. This is the mistake that I made. Whatever that mistake is, we can evaluate how we made that mistake and learn from it. It's always better to talk to ourselves like this because this is more solution oriented rather than self blaming. This is another format of self compassion. The second step can be letting yourself know that you're not alone. No matter what, everyone is thinking like this at any given moment. Everyone is talking to themselves in this format, unfortunately. When we tell ourselves that it's not only us who is thinking in a self critical manner, we understand that we are not alone. We are not working in isolation. Weirdly, that helps. It helps us be more self compassionate than not. Third step would be allowing yourself to feel without judgment. Again, another thing that I say in almost all videos, let yourself feel. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't be self critical and self judgmental about the things that you're feeling. It's almost counterproductive. It's not going to give you any more information. Instead, we can be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. We have an access to our feelings and emotions. It's giving you some information, and it's better to access that information and do something with the information that you're getting instead of being self-critical. When we make this transition from being self critical about why we are feeling like this to, okay, this makes sense why I'm feeling like this, immediately the narrative changes, even in our head. So now we can focus on what we can change and in turn help ourselves. Like this, we can become self compassionate. We can help ourselves be self compassionate. I believe that this component of self compassion is another very important component that we need to take into 2026 and make sure that we are using this throughout the year. Self compassion is the highest form of respect that you can show to yourself. I hope that we truly do this throughout the year and years coming forward as well. That's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love for you if you could leave a comment down below telling me if you liked anything from this video, and also do like, share and subscribe, and I'll meet you the next time I put out a video. Bye bye.